my first question is for if it's a change order required, is it a cash deal or a finance deal? Okay. If it's finance deal, my follow-up question is the loan offering that you offered expired? As we know, literally it seems every week the loans are changing, right? So one week you may get someone set up for, I mean, even the 399s and whatnot, yeah, we may lock someone in for 399 and that 399 still may be there, but the finance rates or those fees may change. The dealer fees and all that nonsense on the back end may change. So it's still not the same loan. So that's my second question. So okay, so let's say it's a cash deal, or let's say it's a fairly new deal. Financing has changed nothing. That's simple. It's as simple as you. Okay, let me bring up a project. Let me bring up a project I don't want to adjust. Dummy lead. I made that one for Bo. Let's do this one. I feel like I have a one that we can kind of mess around with. Version 2. Okay, so I'm gonna play with version 1 right now. So this is actually one that we had to do a change order on for relocation and SMUD, so that was fun. But okay, so let's say it's a cash deal or a finance deal. We sold them on the 599 or 699 interest, whatever it may be, and so nothing's changed over the last 2 to 6 weeks, whatever. So you would pretty much just do it like it's a regular deal. You'd go right here, click the top right, click docs request, homeowner, home improvement contract and roof, English, right? And then request docs. That's it. Simple, easy, right? Once you sign that, then finance gets notified and they initiate their finance documents, right? And it's simple, it's easy. That's if, like I said, it's cash, or if it's something that the financing, the rates, the interest rate, the dealer fees hasn't changed. Obviously, like I said, we don't get that lucky. It seems every other week there's some sort of change on the points, on the back end points with interest rate. So with that, we have to do a lot of, which Richard knows the name of this now, but a lot of legacy change orders or amendments. And what that means is, especially if you have customers in those 1, 2, 3% interest rate ranges, obviously we want to honor those interest rates for a customer. Just because there's a change, oh hey, we have a couple grand extra before a roof, we have $1,500 extra for the relocation of the main service panel, or we have a main service panel, we didn't factor those costs in originally. Then we want to do a legacy, and that's where we actually have to get the project manager involved. Reason being is because obviously you saw it right here, and that's just because this is past 30 days, but proposal's invalid. Please reach out to your manager, blah, 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 right? Proposal past 30 days, but like even then, this Sunlight 25299 is expired, right? So I would not be able to request a contract. Even if I originally signed this customer up for the 299, I cannot request a contract or a change order at that price because of my access to the platform. So with that, that's where your project manager would have to be involved. And that's where you'd have to coordinate with the project manager. What I suggest is build it out. Let's say once again it's this 25299, right? Let's go in adders. See, I got the to be determined. Let's do, I don't know, electrical engineering. No, where's the electrical work? Miscellaneous electrical work, right? Boom, $1,200, right, for relocation. So what I would do is I would go in here, you do this, and then you set this to cash. And then what you would do is you would give the PM the cash amount, okay? And then double check, triple check, make sure that they're doing the math right. But hey, whoever your project manager is, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Project Manager, the new cash cost for the system is 22,45332. This is a legacy proposal. It's a 299, 199, even a 399, whatever it may be. Interest rate. Please send a change order and please factor in the finance fees. Now, here's a secret, guys. So write this formula down. So to factor in finance fees, which in order to figure out what those finance fees are, let's do a Sunlight, I don't know, 5-year 199 expired, right? So click right here, click pricing. It shows us what the finance fees are. So this one is 23.99, right? So to figure out the math on that on a cash price system, all you do, I don't know if you guys see my calculator I'm pulling up, but you take 1 minus 0.2399. Okay. That gets us 0.7601. So we're going to take the number 1 minus 0.2399. Okay. And that gets us 0.7601. You take that, you divide it into the cash price. That is how you properly figure out the finance fees for a system. A lot of people, what they want to do is they want to multiply the cash price by 23.99. That is wrong. That is incorrect. You get the wrong number every single time. So you have to do it this way. It's kind of backwards how you have to do it, but that's how you got to factor that in. So you take 1 minus 0.2399, or whatever the finance fee is. I mean, now the finance fees are like 40%, 35%, whatever, right? So let's say this is 33.99. So you take 1 minus 0.3399, you take that number, divide it into your cash price. And that's kind of how checks and balance, right? Because at the end of the day, yeah, we tell the project managers what to do. And obviously you advise them, hey, make sure you're factoring in the finance fees. But it is still up to us to make sure that is still correct, right? As someone who runs their own business, or you know, I get paid on commission, or as long as this project works out properly, I'm still going to do the second step, third step to make sure that math is correct and not put it all on the project managers, right? So that's how you do that. Someone have something? I'm sorry.
Hey, Anthony,
Yes.
just to reiterate, just so I could get this correct. So you're going to take the interest rate minus 1.
Not the interest rate, the fees. The fees right here. You see the fees right there, total fees?
Oh, hold
So
on.
in this,
A little. Hold on.
let's see if I can zoom in.
Shoot.
Zoom in a little bit. See that total fees right there?
Okay.
So for this finance, term and interest rate, and what sucks is every term, every interest rate is different, right?
Okay.
But for this specific term and this specific interest rate, the finance fees is 23.99%.
Okay.
You take the number 1 and you subtract 0.2399. And in this case, it gives us 1 minus 0.2399, 0.7601.
So where does the 1 come in? I mean, why do you have to put a 1?
It's math. I don't know. Don't ask me why. I just know it works.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's above my pay grade, Vivian, but I know it works.
I doubt that, but okay.
Yeah.
This is the 100% minus this 1 minus your percentage there, which gives you the
correct
76% right
correct.
remaining.
And then so let's say the cash price is 30,000. So then you take that and you divide it by, was it 0.7601? Right. So the cash price is 30,000. You take 30,000, divide it by whatever that number is, like what Bo said, 100% minus what percentage of the finance fee is. So in this case, it's 1 minus 0.2399. So that finance amount, or the what that is 0.7601. So you take 30,000 divided by 0.7601. That gets you a price of $39,468.49. That is what the finance amount has to be. That's what the loan has to be to cover the finance charges, right? So that's how you do the math. Like I said, I don't know why you have to do it that way, and why you can't just multiply by 2, or 23.99 or 24%, whatever. But you have to do it this way and divide it in order to get the correct finance fees. So yeah, good question. But yeah, so that I would just so you guys know, so you guys can kind of double check and stuff like that. And yeah, and so that way, once the PM kind of makes that legacy proposal, Richard knows this process, but it gets sent to, I believe in this situation, it got sent to Moises, but it gets sent to the tier 3 or the tier 2 if this is a self-generated deal. It goes to them. They review, they sign off. Once they review and they sign off, it's just a simple 1-page agreement. Once they review and they sign off, then it gets sent to your customer to review and sign off. Let me see if I can actually.
Make sure you double check and triple check, and you keep all your documents too, because
yes.
Moses and I had that issue where on the last document that needed to be signed, they had the wrong price on there. And if I hadn't caught it, it would have been at a higher rate and she'd be paying more money, and she would have freaked out on me and we would have lost the deal. And thank God I caught it. So keep all your documentation, keep all your P's and Q's, because I had everything, was able to go back, say, no, this is what we agreed on.
Right.
And this is where it needs to be. So
Right. Yeah, hold on, I'm trying to bring this up just so you guys can kind of see. Is my promotion or something? I guess not. May take a second. Oh, right there. Okay, so like here's an example of a completed amendment that was sent out by the PM. So here's a customer's info. Here's the info, and all this is additional electrical and roof work. Customer to pay $3,200 in cash. In this case, the customer wasn't adding $3,200 into the financing. There's an additional $3,200 charge that they were just going to pay cash. So that's why if you do the math here, it's just a hard $3,200 increase. But obviously, if this was financed, I would want to, like what Richard said, double check, triple check, quadruple check that the whatever the finance fees is for this 20%, 25% is factored in there correctly. Because if it's not factored in there correctly, guess who gets to pay that? We do, right? So yeah, we want to make sure it's fair and things like that. Make sure the customer pays for it. It's not your fault. The customer roof sucks or the customer's main service panel sucks. It's not your fault. So don't try to take that hit. But yeah, so that's if it's like I said, a legacy change order, get the cash amount, build it within the proposal tool, factor in the additional $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 in charges, whatever it may be, get that cash amount, give that to the project manager. Hey, Mr. and Mrs. Project Manager, the cash amount is this much. It is a 5-year, 1.99% interest rate. It's expired. I cannot send out a change order, so I need a legacy one-page or legacy change order sent out to the customer. Cash amounts, whatever the cash amount is. Cash amounts 22,45332, and yes, please send it to me for review. And then, like I said, if they send you the 22,453, it's wrong, especially if it's fine, or if it's finance, it's wrong. Make sure the finance fees are factored in there. So you kind of got to guide them and stuff like that. They work for us and they do what we ask. So like I literally had a rep recently contact me and say that the change order was wrong when he's the one that signed it, and I'm like, you signed off on it, so what do you want me to tell you? You should have double checked it, triple checked it. If you saw something was off, don't sign it, because now the customer signed it and the numbers are off. So that's on us, not on the PM, not on the customer, not on financing. But anyways, once that change order is signed, that gets sent to finance, to Emily Budd and her team. They see it, they initiate the change order process through Sunlight, Goodleap, Mosaic, whoever the financing is through. So pretty simple process. It does take a day or two because you do need to have some coordination with your project manager. And then once that is done, then there's some coordination with the finance team. And usually Emily kind of explained it to me that when they clock in the morning, they look through all, the DocuSigns that came through. And if it's just a regular contract, usually those are situated. They check and make sure that the finance is signed. If they see these change orders or one-pager signed, they know to instantly send off a change order from whatever lending is in there or whatever lending service is in there or the customer's utilizing. So there's that. Now, once again, because we're kind of starting to shift away from solo to Powur Vision, this process may change. Maybe my timing is a little off, mine and both timing is a little bit off, but it seems like we've been running into a lot of change orders lately. So I just wanted to kind of make sure everyone's aware of that process. Any questions on that? And then there's just one more thing that I wanted to show real quick.
Solar Vision. What is Solar Vision? Is that the new portal?
New proposal tool. New proposal tool. Yeah.
Is it going to be easier? I mean,
it's gonna be even
pretty
easier.
damn easy.
Yeah, solo's pretty easy. This one's gonna be easier. So what I know one major benefit of it is, so there's solo and then there's like the customer presentation, right? Like a slideshow customer presentation. That they essentially kind of combine both of them. So it's still kind of like an interactive tool that you can change on the fly, but also they combine like more solar presentation. You can input your information, have pictures of your family and things like that. So instead of this is just down to business and brass tacks. So when I do a presentation, I bring up the little slideshow, show a picture of my family, blah, 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 all that nonsense. And then, go into the design and everything and the numbers and this whole pitch and this whole situation. So they kind of combine the two. And I want to say you have more control of panel placement. So you're able to.
Oh, wow, that's great.
Yeah. So, I know right now for revisions, it could take up to a day sometimes to get a revision. And obviously, if you're in the house and it's like, sometimes you run into a situation, oh, we actually have this shed and it's permitted. We want panels on that shed. Well, crap, I got to wait 2 hours up to a day you know, with Power Vision, you can just do that on the fly with the customer right there. So it's supposed to be better. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I want to say it's built from the ground up by like an internal Power team, which is
Like, so, Salesforce?
no, from Power. Like Jonathan Budd and
Oh,
his team, they built it. Yeah, it's not.
oh, wow.
Sunrun doesn't have access to it. So, you know, Tesla, whoever these guys, this is specifically for us, which I think is pretty cool that they're pulling that off. And once again, guys, that's what our $85 a month goes towards. You know, so it's a benefit. You know, so it's definitely positive. So yeah, so that is rolling out. I believe you could. Hey, you know what? Let me just do this. Richard, where do I go to do it? Is it Power U to do the certification?
Yeah, go to Power U and put it in Power Vision.
Don't look
I
at
think
all
it
the
was
tests
Power
that I haven't
Vision is what it
taken.
was.
Oh, right here, Power certification.
Yep, there you go.
I like how
There you go.
I haven't finished my Sonova certification, but I've recorded like 2 videos on how to use Sonova. But, but I don't have my Sonova certification. But yeah, so you just go to Power U, takes you here. Power University takes you here, then you can get certified. And
It's quick and easy.
Yeah, I don't think it's like officially hard launched yet. I still think it's kind of pre-launch right now. Like just because you're certified with it, Rich, does that mean you have access to it or no?
No,
Yeah, just once it
No.
rolls out, then you would have access to it, I assume. So
yeah.
still working out some kinks. They have you know, some of the producers and stuff, like some of the top producers within the company